Really?
Oh man, wow. I feel like that most of that applause was just for you, Omar. I heard a lot of Omar claps, like specific claps.
Oh, interesting,
I don't
interesting.
know
I
if you
think
can
that I
tell.
think that your side of the audience wasn't mic'd. I think that was the problem.
Was that? Yeah, that's probably what it was. We just like a wedding, we divide our audience.
Yeah.
Like yeah, Omar side, Sandeep sides. That's definitely what we do. Hi everybody. Hey, welcome to ABCD American Born Chatty Desis. I'm your host, but let me introduce my co-host who will soon be working again as a writer,
Oh.
Omar Najam.
Oh. Best
Right?
news I've heard.
Right?
Best news I've heard all week. Thank you so much. That's great. I love to
Oh,
hear that.
man.
And folks, let me introduce to you this week's host. His sun sign is the peace symbol. His moon sign is a yin yang, and his rising is a no fear poster folder. It's Sandeep Parikh. I don't know if that's funny. I don't
It's
know.
funny. Did you say a no fear what?
A no fear poster folder. Remember those no fear folders in the 90s?
Okay, so I had no fear T-shirts. This is maybe dating myself.
Oh!
So we had no fear T-shirts. Maybe by the time it got to you, it was.
I think
I
I wasn't allowed to wear them because they were they had too little
Risque.
fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. They had no fear. Yeah, so little fear that the school was like absolutely not. You
Absolutely
need to display
not.
a proper amount of fear. That makes a lot of sense. But hey, look, I'm the host this week. Okay, so
Yes,
I'm here to
okay.
tell you that we are the American Born Chatty Desis. It's a podcast within a live stream. We're live right now, and that live stream is within our lives as two American Born Desis. It's a pod duckin', ladies and gentlemen. This is for anyone out there who, like us, are navigating our cultural identities and just want to chat it out.
Yeah, folks, and Papa Squawk, because we got some great stuff. We have a new segment, or return of an old segment in a way, where we're going to be talking about the news. Then we're going to hop into our Chakra check-in to talk about this week's topic. Are you ready for it, Sandeep?
I was ready for it. Turns out the day I was born.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that makes sense because it's astrology.
Oh yeah, we Desis love astrology. We sure do.
We really do. That's not a joke.
Yep.
I'm laughing because you laugh or you cry. It's pretty intense in our culture. And then we're going to play a game, Astrological Perfect Match or Mortal Enemy Celebrity Edition. What does that mean? You're going to have to stick around to find out. And then finally, we will celebrate our Desi of the Week.
Yes, but before we do all that fun stuff, we got to do this fun stuff, which is talk about our sponsors. Our first sponsor is, as always, our Dungeons and Dragons actual play series that stars me and Omar. That's right, we're in the show together.
Us?
Outside of this show, and it's set in a South Asian mythological inspired universe built by our star game master Jasmine, that bronze girl Buller. It's got a stellar cast, obviously the two of us, but also Critical Role darling Anjali Bhimani,
Yes.
and Dimension 20 darling Rekha Shankar. A lot of darlings.
Lot of darlings.
Did you see the hot news about DesiQuest? Did you see the hot news?
I don't think I did.
That's sprung. Our premiere date finally dropped. We actually have a date
Can
now.
you share it with us?
I can, and it's a very auspicious date.
Oh?
It is November 14th, which is Diwali. So we thought, what better of a Diwali gift,
Yes.
right? Than
Yes.
the premiering the pilot episode of DesiQuest. I mean, come on.
What an absolute dream.
Come
what an
on.
absolute dream. I'm so excited. I'm going to just get an entire tower of jalebi to celebrate this.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Oh.
I'm gonna
And folks-
I was just gonna say I'm gonna snort the rangoli. You know, I'm gonna take it down like a pixie stick. You know.
I went to this is we won't get stuck on this because we're going to intro, but I went to an Armenian bakery and they had what looked like jalebi, and I was like, "What do you
Really?
call this?" And then I forget what it was
They're
called.
like
I feel so bad.
baloji.
Yeah, and they glanced around, and I was like, "Oh, we have that because it's jalebi." And they're like, "You don't have this because it's this." And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, but we."
But we do. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to connect. Okay, my bad.
It's the bitter butter battle. Totally. Well, hey, look, whether or not you're Armenian or Indian or anything
Anywhere
else,
in between.
anywhere in between. Go to DesiQuest.com. That's DesiQuest.com. Or click the link in our show notes to get on our mailing list. Or even better yet, you can go to the Patreon for DesiQuest at patreon.com/DesiQuest and become a citizen of the DesiQuest world and get exclusive access to our after show podcast.
Yes. Folks, this is so wonderful because you'll be supporting just great art happening. It's so appreciated. And I want to give a special shout out to our second sponsors of the show. That's right. It's you, the Patreons. Thank you so much for helping us out. You make this show happen. Head over to patreon.com/EffinFunny, EFFIN. Funny, Funny. We've got multiple tiers for contributing with a handful of subscriber benefits, including your name listed at the end credits of the show that we will sing off in a way that chat decides. Well, not sing off, because every time we do that, we're off by an entire...
I'd never call what we do singing.
We do. What's the opposite of a vocal warm up? Because a warm up is a promise of something coming. This is like shutting it down.
It's a vocal letdown.
It's a vocal letdown. But folks, you don't let us down. So head over to patreon.com/EffinFunny to keep these ABCD lights on. Thank you so much.
Yes, we appreciate that. And then finally, just real quick, I have a fake sponsor for you.
Oh yeah, sure.
Or an unofficial sponsor. I think. Considering this is our astrology episode,
yes.
I am putting this out into the ether. I think they are going to become our sponsors because I love Asha Pops so much. They have not sanctioned this sponsorship, but I think they're so delicious and they're LA based that I'm just going to keep pretending that they're our sponsor until they become our real sponsor. They're so good. You know what? They're lily seeds. Have you ever had a lily seed before?
I've never had these.
Dude, it's like good for you popcorn.
Is it
popcorn that's actually like has Ayurvedic benefits and like nutritional benefits, like real nutritional benefits. You know what they are? I don't know. They say things. It's got they got protein. It's a protein packed.
I need protein.
You need protein, and they're just delicious. I'm eating the vegan cheese one right now.
Oh my God, we're also Indians. We know how to get protein out of non-meat items. Let me tell you. We excel at it.
It's crazy. Okay, that's it.
We're gonna get this a lot in this episode, but what perfect serendipitous timing, what fate of this. The stars are aligned because I just rented a movie from Vidiot's, a video store here in Los Angeles, that's called Chutney Popcorn.
Yes, I remember that movie.
Nice. Look at this. It's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
Talking about stars aligning, do you mind if we hop into the news to talk about our first story?
Can I just say this last thing?
Sure,
which is just curl up, watch some chutney popcorn, and eat a bag of Asha Pops. Huh?
There it is. There's the tagline.
Okay. Now let's get into our first segment. Yeah.
The news.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Good timing on that.
Wow, folks! The first news story of the day that we got is we got an update on the WGA strike. I'm just going to read this no editorializing. Well, let's see. Let's talk about this real quick. After several long consecutive days of negotiations, the Writers Guild of America and the labor group representing studios and streamers have reached a tentative deal on a new contract in a major development that could precipitate the end of a historic 146-day writer strike. Just 5 days before the strike would have become the longest in the Guild's history.
Oh, hold out for 5 more days.
We can do it.
Let's get the record. Come on. Let's get the record at least.
I gotta say, I'm in some of the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. I've been doing a lot of walking.
Time to work out, huh? Finally.
I've been doing a lot of walking, a lot of socializing.
Hit up that Pilates class, that jujitsu class you're taking now, huh? Pilates jujitsu.
Pilates jujitsu is trying. The philosophies are a little competitive. The AMPTP issued their best and final offer on Saturday. Of course, they're making us work on Saturdays. And the WGA met on Sunday to discuss. The parties came to terms on a provisional 3-year agreement, which will need to be ratified by the WGA members to take effect. Details of the deal aren't available to the public yet. There is no deal in the works yet for striking actors, part of SAG.
I'll let you know how I vote. I'll let you know. We'll see. I might want the 5 extra days. I guess this is really good news. That we're getting to a place of compromise.
Yes.
And getting back to work. I think I just know so many people that are really struggling right now. Yeah. And it's not just the writers. It's crew.
Yeah.
It's people in the service industry. It's really rippled throughout Los
Yeah.
Angeles. So I am excited just for my friends to be in some, better financial standing and some hope.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not part of WGA. I'm IATSE, and I'm pretty sure I've lost my health insurance. So if we get back to work, that would be great. I would love to accrue a couple of hours.
Yeah, for sure. This is what I mean. Yeah, it really does. It turns out we're connected.
Yeah.
I don't know if you. Yeah. So
Who would've
you know,
known?
yeah, there's a domino effect here, and hopefully
Yeah.
we'll start picking these dominoes back up.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to our next story in our news section, news in the diaspora section. I don't know, working title. India has passed legislation to reserve 1/3 of seats for women in the lower house of parliament and in state legislatures. I mean,
Let's go.
that's like kind of more progressive than the U.S. This is wild.
Yes.
This is wild. So, a bill requiring India's parliament to set aside 1/3 of its seats for women candidates passed the body's upper house this week. Women's representation in both houses is around 14%, and women only made up about 8% of the candidate field in 2014.
Yes.
So proponents of the bill say that it could bring about better policies for women in areas like education and healthcare and employment, while opening pathways for India's women to pursue higher education and career opportunities. By the way, I am reading verbatim, and I will give credit to Vox writer Ellen Lones Lones on this. So, this is wild, man. The new legislation will not affect just representation in parliament, but in state assemblies as well. Despite support, though, it could be years before it's actually passed, and even longer before it actually social effects or really take place. But this is good. I mean, there's a quote here from I don't know who this is actually, because I didn't read the entire article. Okay, what do you want me to say? They're notes. They're notes. But they're saying that women make different policies. Women tend to emphasize policy issues that are relevant for women. This extends both from the kind of public goods that women may care more about, given their responsibilities, to think about more about safety and making it easier for women to report on crime or investments in women's health. I mean, what I love about this is it's like, it turns out women care about women. I don't know if you know. I love that this is like kind of a surprise to the men, so much so that they're like,
hey, wait a second.
Like, wait a second. Like, men have such difficulty empathizing with not themselves that they're like, wait, even women care about women? That's crazy. But this is good. This is good.
This is absolutely fantastic. I feel like oftentimes when we're talking about stories from India, it's either like, here's a wacky story, or here's something that like we as the diaspora are talking about. This is something I'm like, let's take a page from the Millennials book. This is great. I love this. Like this really brightened up my week. I'm very, very excited about this. And I, as someone who is distant but still emotionally attached, I throw myself behind this full-heartedly. Let's go. I am so excited.
Maybe on the flip side?
A little bit on the flip side, story number 3, which you might have seen in the news, a Sikh man, Hardeep Singh, was killed in Canada. Sikhism is the world's 5th largest religion. He was a Canadian citizen, and Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister, accused India of assassinating him.
Yeah, this is wild.
Other Western powers, including the United States, appear to back Canada's version of the story, Canada's theory. The Indian media and public are alleging that this was that he was a terrorist with links to the Punjab separatist groups, and therefore the Indian security services were justified in killing him. Yes, according to, in terms of the a possible justification of this assassination.
Yeah.
It is a very tricky story.
They're denying involvement and saying, but kind of saying that if we were involved, it would have been fine.
This is the O.J. Simpson book approach to international, what seems to be sort of like spy-laden espionage, international assassination stuff. So without getting so deep into the democracy now of it all, which I don't know if I'm necessarily, it's not my jurisdiction to hop into the journalism. What I will say is this is a pretty wild situation for Canadian Indian citizens.
It is, because it turns out, right, that they are now. So India escalated this. They expelled Canadian diplomats.
Yes.
Halted visa services, so Canadian citizens can't go to India.
Yes.
Like, that's crazy. That's wild. And Canadians on the other side have also expelled an Indian diplomat. So it's getting, I mean, I don't know. This was not in my bingo card of crazy world events.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, my heart goes out to the family and folks that were you know, affected with Hardeep's untimely murder, but an assassination. I mean, but talk about dominoes. I mean, this is
because
really
in
wild.
terms of the separatist group, like a lot of this ties back to also the group that was blamed for Indira Gandhi's assassination. So like this is a pretty long going historical tension that Canada is now involved in, and so it'll be interesting to keep our eye on this developing story.
If this happened in America, and this is, you know, I'm not in Canada, so it's hard for me to, but you know, this is like Canadians that like can't go to their cousin's wedding probably now, you know, like if this happened to me, it's like, oh, I wouldn't be able to go to my cousin's wedding that's set for next year or whatever.
Yes.
Like this is crazy.
I have aunts that can't go just casually go get fabric. Like I would,
right.
I will also say it's really weird.
Where are we going to Parley G's? I mean, this is.
I will say, and this is not obviously the most pertinent and important takeaway from the story, but just in terms of our personal experience, I will say whenever I imagine spy stories happening, I think I always imagine myself somewhat involved, where I'm like, I would be a James Bond. Like I need to learn how to drive a car fast and do like, you know, kung fu and be able to climb a building and be an action hero. This was very humbling to see spy stuff happening. And as I'm just checking it in bed on like the NPR news app, and I was like, oh, I'm not involved.
You're not involved. Unfortunately, you're not involved in this.
Yeah.
But we are getting fact checked in real time, which is good. That's
Great.
what I love about doing this live. India stopped processing new renewals of visas in Canada. Not that Canadians can go to India if they have previous visas.
Right.
Or last they heard. I mean, you know, this is coming from Slukabil. Okay, so you know, who knows? But the point is like clearly. The West and India mixing a little bit like oil and water here.
Yes.
And I don't think that's good for our people. And but I mean, our people is the folks like us born in the
crossfires.
Yeah, born in the diaspora. So
especially with G20 going on. But you know what? That might take us to our next story.
Yes, so the G20, right, went down for those unfamiliar. The G20 summit happened in India. Okay,
Yes.
They hosted it this time, and so this is when, you know, 20 of the world's leaders come together to talk about climate crises, and hopefully come up with some plans and some ideas on how to do better, so that we don't all just erupt into a ball of fire or melt into the Earth's core or wherever we're headed. So this year. In New Delhi, India, now a lot of stuff went down at this, but the weird kind of human interest story, or maybe monkey interest story that we want to talk about is India had to work really hard to keep monkeys from interfering with the event. Okay, this was the conversion.com, the conversation.com reported on this, and it turns out the area has these rhesus macaques. Is that how I say it? Macaques? Was I right? Macaques.
Yes.
Which are these like bold and very curious, aggressive monkeys.
Yeah.
And so they had to sort of like launch a really unconventional way of keeping them out, because also, you know, India is like, you know, really big on not harming animals. And so listen, but these macaques, they're gnarly. They steal lunches, they damage property, they bite. I believe these are the same monkeys that were trained to steal the sunglasses off my mom's head when she was like walking around this temple this one time.
Yes.
And then like a trained like a guy was like, "Oh, I'll sell you this food to that's totally them. I'll sell you this food that and I'll get your sunglasses back." And it was this whole like little
oh my god
little grift they were running. But anyway, they thrive in these urban environments. And so, okay, here's what they decided to do. You want to hear this?
Sure.
This is wild. So the monkeys, they don't want to come. So the thing that they're afraid of are these langurs, which are like a bigger monkey.
Yeah.
A scarier monkey. And so they placed large cutouts of the languors around
Yes.
so that it would scare it would and they also, this is the craziest part to me, they have deployed, I love that that's the verb, between 30 to 40 men who can mimic the sounds of langurs, I hope I'm saying it right, to trick the rhesus monkey into thinking that they're nearby.
You know what's so wild about this?
Yeah.
Is that Universal Studios has a haunted house that's exactly this. The cardboard lungas and then just men
man,
just
I haven't
making the
been in so
noise
long.
just right around the corner.
Wow, you got to get the fast pass for that one. The line is out the park. And then they also, I guess, got live langurs and rented them, and I guess they were rented and put on duty. Oh, this was in 2010. Oh, and they can't do that again because there were concerns over them being held in captivity. So they're not doing that.
Yes.
That's why they're doing the cardboard cutout thing and just hiring these, like, who's the guy from Police Academy again? Just like did they hire him? Did they get Police
But
Academy
the problem
guy?
with him is that he has a whole story behind it where it's the helicopters coming down with the lungos, so it's like and then and the ladder
Michael
itself
Winslow.
is made of like whoopee cushions.
Yeah. Oh man, amazing.
Oh, absolutely incredible. Well, let me tell you, folks, that's
And it must have worked, right? Because we didn't hear much about, like the monkeys, tearing the face off of Rishi Sunak or something.
right. And Joseph Biden wasn't like, yeah, my biggest takeaway was there were a lot of monkeys just stealing our packed
Yeah.
lunches.
Yeah.
Stealing our sunglasses.
Outbreak started again, or yeah, whatever.
Let me
Remember
tell you,
the movie
folks.
Outbreak? Remember that? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Outbreak 2. Anyway.
Let me tell you, folks, there's no bad ideas. Shoot for, what is the saying? Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. But here's the thing. India, we shoot for the moon and we land. That's right, because for our last news story, we actually have a lunar lander that touched down on the lunar surface on August 23rd, 2023.
We're a little late. We're a month late, but that's okay. Better late than never.
Making India the fourth nation to successfully land on the moon and the first to land in the South Pole
That's
region.
right. Take that back. Just say India was the first to land. India's the first to land, and then whisper in the South Pole region.
Yeah.
That's definitely how my dad or my uncles would.
That's uncle
would be telling
logic
that
right
story.
there. Did you know we were the first to play tennis? We were? Or the first Indian was the first Indian to play tennis? What are you, wait, hold on, what are you
Hold on,
saying?
wait a second. That's a tautology.
But I'll tell you this. We are leading the exploration of frozen water on the moon because we are exploring the surface to see if the moon is a habitable environment for life.
What?
Yeah. We're exploring the topsoil, and we're going down 10 centimeters or 4 inches below the surface to see kind of what's going on there. And
Yeah. Okay.
a little quick result that's, for all the science nerds out there, it's showing that the moon soil is a very good insulator and could be used to build space colonies and keep heat and cold and radiation out.
What? Can it grow weed?
Yeah. I mean, it's
What?
already
It
doing
can?
that.
What? Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Can it grow bong?
We're working on
really
that's
what
why we're
India's
there.
trying to figure
That's
out.
why we're there. There is something that's a little terrifying to me, which is that there's a possible detection of a moonquake.
Okay.
So,
how
yeah.
bad was it? Does it just like what happens when a moonquake happens? Do you just get like launched off the moon? 'Cause I feel like you can bounce so high anyway. There's no.
Well, speaking of
gravity
bounce, we also had a successful hop. The hop tested. We hop tested the restart, which restarted the engine after a lunar landing to make sure it is still operating fine, and it was successful.
They hop tested it.
Yeah, we hop tested it.
Okay.
I actually been when I read that, I got really excited because I've actually been learning about home brewing for beer, and I was just like, "Let's go!" And I was like, "Oh no, this is
Different type of hop.
yeah, different type of hop."
What is that? I mean, does that mean they just like drop, like they use the energy of the drop of a hop to start the? Is this kind of because sometimes when I had my 1993 Toyota Camry, which was a stick shift, and we'd have to pop it into neutral,
Humble brag.
roll it down the hill,
Sure.
and then like, and that's how we could get the engine to start. We had to sort of like.
It's
Is
in
it like
a
that?
little way because this was a test. Luckily we didn't have to. This wasn't like an emergency situation, but this was a test. And to put it in There's no colloquial way for me to put it. I actually have a background in astronomy, so
Got it.
unfortunately
You know
I'm going to
that
have
it's
to
too
refer to
technical.
only scientific terms. So keep up with me here. But
Yeah,
this is what we
I'll
call a
try.
fawns in the industry.
Okay, got
So
it.
yeah, just a little pop. Get the engine going.
Got
We're
it.
back in
Okay.
business. We're heading back to Earth. Thanks a lot,
Henry
folks.
Winkler is truly he's going to be the Desi of the week. Well,
So
this
we're
is
there.
cool.
We're on the
This
moon.
is so cool. This is cool. I
This is
mean,
great.
like, I feel like we heard so much about the moon growing up as kids, and you're like,
Yeah.
I thought I'd be on the moon by like 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought, like, as much as we talked about it being this big deal, and it's like, for them, feel like we just had this whole long period of no one going on the moon
Yeah.
ever or doing anything interesting, and they still haven't landed people there. But please don't send my Uttam uncle there, because I'm just telling you.
You mean India hasn't landed? We have like landed, like in the world has landed people there.
No, but India hasn't.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure that this
I'm
was the
saying that
conversation. I wasn't
this
going to
new
discover that you're
mission-
like, no, that's fake.
But in a long time, that's the conspiracy theory that I believe, is that the lunar landing was faked. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Except for
No.
India's.
Except for India's.
India's was the
All the
first.
rest of them are fake. That's right, Dalvin.
The first real landing.
Where's real landing? I'm just saying that if we're looking for frozen water and you send up with the uncle, he'll plant it there. Okay?
Yes.
So just don't send up with the uncle. All right. Well, hey,
Here's the thing: when we send Indians to the moon and we find frozen water, you know that we're just going to be storing it in like cheap water bottles that will just live in the fridge.
Yes, totally. Oh my gosh, amazing. All right. Speaking of amazing, I think it's time to move on to our next amazing segment, the Chakra check-in. Oh baby, we are talking about astrology today. Why astrology? Because we're Desis. And also, why now? Because it was the autumnal equinox, which I don't think I ever tracked until this show. But yes, that began on Saturday, the 23rd.
Yep.
Here's some facts about the equinox or equinox,
Hit me with
depending
that.
on how you say it. Equinox comes from the Latin meaning equal night, referring to a 12-hour day and a 12-hour night that occurs only on these 2 days of the year, right? We know this, the autumnal and the vernal. Remember that? I remember that from like 7th grade. On the equinox, we honor the balance of light and dark and feel gratitude for the changes that come with the passing of time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's a meaningful time to honor the harvest of your efforts and intentions for your life path, and that you set in the earlier. So then maybe this is a time for you to check in on your New Year's resolutions. It's kind of a vibe,
I like that.
right?
I like that a lot.
And you lit a candle, and you have a J.J. Abrams lens flare on your.
I got my two
Video?
my two neo-pagan traditions, burning a candle and celebrating filmmaker J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the time of year where you're supposed to go within, go inside yourself, empty out some space. This is where you do a little, autumnal cleaning
Yes.
and compost your ideas. Okay, don't just throw them in the trash. Compost, recycle your ideas,
Yeah.
and use the energy that they hold to make fertile soil for new creativity and matured visions. Huh?
Beautiful.
Let's do that.
Poetry.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
So what are you composting? Let's get into what's going on with your what are you looking inwards for?
You know what? I had quite a few goals at the beginning of the year where I was like, this is my, I will say this without getting into too much, but my life and my day-to-day was very different at the beginning of our calendar year than it is now.
Yeah.
And it was also, it was, we thought that we were going to work on shows and stuff also. There was a lot of things
Right.
happening.
Yep.
And a lot changed. And so for me, I was like, I guess I'm losing a lot of progress. But then I went, well, this is a great opportunity to see what is sticking around. So a lot of the stuff that's gone, I'm just letting those leaves and those sticks and, some of that dry grass, deteriorate,
down
turn
and-
into nice
yep.
minerals.
Yeah.
And I'm packing that down to then feed the ongoing plants that I have, which are like my friends who have stuck around with me and
Yep.
have been very close to me. My family, my relationships with my family are stronger than ever right now.
They did not go on strike, so that's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in therapy, so I'm using a lot of like the stuff, like a lot of my
The
where I
ABCD
thought I would be.
podcast, weirdly not
ABCD
mentioned,
podcast. I
but-
said friends and family. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
you're
Oh.
you're a friend.
Oh,
You're a close friend to
jeez.
me, and Delvin, your family.
Good save.
So,
Wait a
because my
second.
mom has adopted you.
Yeah,
There's a whole
that's
thing. We've
fair.
been over this. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
And should I? Is this the time to share a really Should I share a really personal thing that was an ABCD related thing?
No.
Okay. This
Nope.
is the show.
Anyway, so moving on. Of course it's the time.
Before
Could you
was
imagine?
it the?
Nah, I'm gonna have an Asha pop.
Just a little dose of protein. Moving on. I think it was literally minutes before the second episode with my mom, like half an hour before, I had a breakup of a relationship, and it was right before the ABCD taping, and so
I
I
remember
was just
this,
like,
yeah.
it was like 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna go in the backyard, I'm gonna cry, but I'm a professional, and I love ABCD. And my mom is like a special guest today, so I'm just gonna pull it together, and so it was like logging on. I was
Wow.
like, hey mom, let's do an
Oh
episode.
man.
But the
Just
thing is,
finishing blowing your nose kind of thing.
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Dried my eyes, did it. But here's the thing, like talking about this, what are we composting? What are we letting go?
Yeah.
There were a lot of like life plans I had, but what's stuck around, what's kept growing naturally? This show, this community, these conversations, you know? Even when
Yep.
our writing stuff, Sandeep, you and me, like when we work in the industry, our acting stuff has like gotten challenged. Then we saw each other at the picket lines for the South Asian Day, and you know celebrated that community. So yeah,
I think it has been the rally part of it.
Yes.
Has been really fruitful and you know soul kind of infusing in a way that I didn't see coming. So I'm with you, man. That's really great. I think you know what is dead will never die kind of a thing. Like you know
Yeah.
it's gonna like the ideas that you were gonna work on or had, you know those are still there. Those can still sprout. Maybe on more fertile soil. I
love that.
I hope that yeah.
You're nailing the
I wish that for
metaphor
you.
so well today. So
Thank
how about
you.
you? What are you? What's your backyard?
Man, that's yeah. There's a lot. I mean, I think for me, it's been really trying to focus. You know, there's a lot of I tried a lot of new things this year. You know,
Yeah.
stand up was really new.
Yeah.
And I really dove into that head first. Also, but with the money sort of disappearing, I had to sort of refocus like EffinFunny's company efforts into more corporate type stuff.
Yeah.
And ended up
Which you
also
love.
engaging with family to hire their companies to produce for them.
Oh.
Because you know sometimes the first place you got to go is to family to
Yeah.
keep a business afloat. So, you know that's been it was challenging to the ego to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
To have to like, to you know to have it was challenging to be like okay I'm gonna need help here. But then to like sort of accept that I've come to this thanks to my therapist this other realization that's really been helpful, which is like that we are interdependent. You
Yeah.
know, like we come into this world as these like totally naked little babies that need to be nourished in every way humanly possible to
Yeah.
survive. And so it's like that doesn't like that interdependence doesn't really stop.
Oh, I
you
love
get
that.
older, it's not
Yeah.
like it's a fallacy. It's sort of like a trick of the of like our logic left brain to be like, oh, well, now we should be entirely independent, you know? And it's like, no, you are always interdependent. And even if you think you're entirely independent, like say you're independent from your families, you need for your family's help. Well, then
Yeah.
a strike happens, and that turns out, oh wait, I was interdependent with a whole ecosystem
Yes.
of writers, creators, performers, and you know business folks and producers that is entirely out of my control. To now sort of in a way that fooled me into thinking I was independent, right?
Yes.
And then it goes, oh wait, no, that can totally be taken away from me too. And so I think the thing that I've realized I'm trying to work on is accepting really, really fundamentally at a like a cellular level,
Yeah.
accepting that I am an interdependent being and being okay with that and letting my ego cool off a little bit, because I can get really spun up and spun in like a really negative kind of shame spiral for myself if I don't. And then the other piece is figuring out how to be resilient. And like, I think that's the thing that I learned from the pandemic, you know, because like coming out of the pandemic, like the pandemic was obviously another version of life being really scary. And you know, the wheels kind of just completely coming off, but we became pretty resilient as a company from that. Like people stuck around, you know, my business partner stuck around, you know, we figured out how to shrink and pivot and create new. We started Twitch streaming. We figured out how to. We went on Patreon for the first time. We just started figuring out how to not become so dependent on one source of income, like sort of you know, have multiple hearts beating, I guess. And so we just had to sort of figure out how to do that again, you know. So I think those are the things that I'm like trying to really remember. Is like, hey, remember how you were just resilient? Like, you just got to keep that going, and that we will come out, you know, the other side of this just a more resilient beast, you know.
I love that. That is such a wonderful
That's the hope.
Way to go into autumn.
Yeah,
because I mean, autumn's also like known for like
suck
being
on
like,
that equinox. Wait, it's not supposed to have material.
you wanted balance of darkness and light. It's all you can't handle the
Yeah,
balance.
so eat me, Artemis.
But
No,
like
wait, no.
harvesting, I think that like is on one level a little use the word fallacy. I think that's a good one to lean on, because you're like, well, we're constantly harvesting because we have to eat as human beings. But like, so that's like a little. I think it's less of harvesting food and more of like looking back on what you've grown so far this year. Like
Yeah.
it is that harvest of just like, wow, what grew, what didn't, what
Yep.
was a challenge, and also what naturally popped up that was a surprise, where you're just like, oh, I didn't realize that these seeds were planted
Man.
a while ago.
Talking about nailing the metaphor, Omar.
Well,
Come on.
no, I can't. You did you did 80%
Come
of that. I
on.
can't
That
come in
was-
with the last 20%.
No, that's people only remember the last 20%. So that's great. This is great.
Well, should we talk about talking about interdependency and connections and stuff? Should we talk about a little astrology
Yeah,
compatibility?
I guess we gotta do that. We said we were going to.
So here we go. Should we talk about our compatibility real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Do you know about our compatibility?
Because there was some compatibility that was tested. Because you're a Cancer Leo cusp, is that right?
That's right. So I've always, what I've been told is that I'm a Leo. I'm on a cusp day. But
Yeah.
I'm technically a Leo. But
Yeah.
I guess since I'm cuspy, there's like supposedly I have attributes from all 12 zodiac signs, is what I was told by our astrologer. So I'm like, oh, so you can just say anything basically, and it's like it's true. Anyway, that's what I was told. Yeah.
I believe we got a sign a compatibility chart done, so we can blast through this.
We
really
did?
quickly to find out about ourselves. Kaylin did this, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Producer Kaylin, am I wrong in saying that?
This is amazing.
Can we
I
get
did
an
not know that.
off-camera nod from Kaylin or a shake of the head if that's not true?
I heard
I'm
her say
seeing
yes.
a nod. I'm seeing a nod.
Yep.
Yeah. So Kaylin
Okay.
did this.
Okay. Let's get into it.
So let's get
What
into
do our
this.
charts say? Are we a good match?
Are you ready?
Well, before you jump in, I'll just say this.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't seen Indian Matchmaker, do know that like culturally, at least my family, I don't know if yours is the same, but they take this stuff really seriously. Like it's not a pseudoscience to my dad. Like he really believes that there is scientific merit to astrology, and there is. I mean, look, hey, jury's out for me on this one because like. You know, I haven't gone into their ancient Vedic libraries, but there's some like old dusty books there that have a lot of information in there. And there's these like, I mean, I'll just say this: astrology is an industry out there, okay? And they take this stuff really seriously. They make life decisions based upon it. My parents were determined to be incompatible, but then they had to do some rituals and stuff to apparently get there. They had to pour some milk on some coconuts.
Yeah,
and
we pour milk on a lot of
they
stuff.
They had to chant a thing. They had to sit in a room and chant at some statues, and they figured it out. So the gods made it okay, but
there was some work that was involved.
There was some work, yeah.
Really quick before we hop into this, let's do a really quick. You can only say yes or no.
Okay.
It's one or the other, no
Okay.
in between. Astrology, fully legitimate or completely illegitimate. You have to choose one or the other.
Oh, well, I'm going to choose fully legitimate then because I just want that to be true because that's more fun. I just feel like it's more fun to have magic in the world, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to choose that one.
I'm going if we have to choose between one or the other, I'm going fully legitimate. There's no middle
Like,
ground.
let's go.
Can we for this because you
Like,
did
I want to be a lion. Like, that's cool. I'm a lion right now. If you take away
Yeah.
astrology, I'm no longer a lion. I don't like that.
and I'm twins. All right, so our producer Kaylin put this together, so we don't know this. This is our compatibility chart.
This is the first time even looking at this.
So
okay.
we're gonna have Delvin, technical director Delvin, read us off our compatibility.
Are we a match?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, through the power of Kalen, I have consulted the stars through Kalen as a medium into
Okay.
the world of astrology.
Okay.
So I'm sensing first, Sandeep. I'm getting a really strong Cancer Leo cusp from you. Which
Well,
I
yeah,
think,
we said that earlier.
well, that's great. So we've confirmed that in fact
That's
this is a real
correct.
science.
That's amazing.
Then. That's proved it right
boy.
there because I just got that through the stars through Kalen. So
That's honestly incredible.
and then Omar, I'm
Yeah.
getting. It's a Gemini, but I feel like it's like not like they're like Gemini was great. Can we milk that IP a little bit more? And they put a sequel out, like a second Gemini or Gemini 2.
How could you have known that?
Does it
That's
sound like I
amazing.
know a lot
Hold
about
on.
How could
astrology
you
when
have
I'm
known
calling
Is
it
there
that?
a Gemini 2? Like, there's ones and twos?
I
What
feel
does that
like it's a
mean?
Gemini 2 situation. I don't feel like this is
I never heard of that.
it's not a base
Because
Gemini.
my kiddo's a Gemini.
Oh,
and so I gotta find
the
out whether they
Cancer
are-
Leo cusp is claiming that Omar's sign is fake. That's what I'm getting.
Typical
Are you
Cancer Leo
mansplaining
cusp.
Omar's?
That's right. I'm Leo splaining.
Right, Leo's planning. Cancer Leo's cusp planning. Okay, so based on that, the best relationship type that
Okay.
you could have
Okay.
is love.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It
But
makes sense.
I
Look
have
at our
good
beards.
news. The worst possible relationship compatibility that you have is work. So whatever you can, whatever you do, try not to put yourself into a situation where you're both like co-working on the same thing. There's so much room for love between the two of you, but you're just not going to be compatible in like a productive environment where you need to like get things
Worst.
Oh my
Like,
god.
avoid this.
done.
That's
But you
so
do. So I
funny.
mean, you're empathetic, you're energetic, you're innovative, great for a loving relationship. However, you're also oversensitive, way too nervous, and particularly unstable, which
Wait,
is
who is?
this relationship that the two of you have.
Oh, the
Because-
relationship
Yeah.
is
It doesn't-
empathetic.
which
I'll
is,
tell you
which
what,
is
it
why
doesn't
you're not going to
me-
be able to have a good work relationship because you're not going to have that stability that you need to actually get things done.
That's
Okay,
from your side.
I'm
Geminis are
gonna-
never known for this.
This makes sense to me, and I think actually, no, I'm gonna. Here's how I'm gonna sell it
How are you
or
gonna sell
spin it. Is that being podcast host buddies is not the same as like being in a business together.
Okay.
It is a different type of relationship, and I think it's a more playful and kind of like loving relationship. I don't love Anand, my business partner. I can't love that guy. I can't love him, but fuck, do we work well together?
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. I see that.
I'm just kidding, Anand. Of course, I love you, but we would never be compatible. We would not be compatible. Like hosts. I don't think we would be very compatible hosts.
This makes a lot of sense because, like, in every weekly meeting, you go, "I just want to remind you, I don't love you," and I've always thought that.
Right.
That's been.
I do start the meetings with that.
That's just important to having a good, healthy working relationship, which you two never do, which is why you really can't work that well together.
We always
You've
go
got-
around the room and we just talk about how we would never be a good love match.
Right.
We just quickly just kind of review.
Yeah.
Hey,
HR has pulled us aside every week.
Right. You have the room for really passionate and exciting romance.
Ooh.
However,
Well,
However,
in marriage, you're likely to lose the spark because what is marriage?
Oh.
Marriage is work.
Fuck, that just hit me
this
like
was
a
written
ton of
by an
bricks.
Indian person.
All the routines, the predictable routines, the responsibility handling that comes with marriage is not likely something the two of you are going to be good at doing together.
Wow.
Okay.
So like
I
you got
think
the
that makes
energy, you got the understanding, like no end to that sort of thing.
Okay.
Fantastic
Let's make sure we
animation,
don't
but
have a
just-
regularly scheduled show together then.
No, I think that's the thing is that we have a regularly scheduled tryst. We just
Oh,
we
I
just
love
get together,
that.
we fuck around on Sundays.
Yeah.
And then we go about our lives and we don't tell our partners.
Okay, hang on. I'm getting one more thing. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm feeling from the stars that you have entered into some sort of relationship that you would actually categorize in the business world. So I do have some advice for you.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right.
So to work side by side in an organization, you're going to have to
Okay.
overcome your sensitivity to each other's feelings. Okay.
Uh,
I know
fuck
that you
Omar.
understand each other too much.
Hey.
You're going to have to work past that. You're going to have to get over the hump. Okay. It's okay. Sometimes, just put a little toe out there and see how it goes and let them feel how they feel.
Okay.
Okay, I never had the strength to say this before, but Omar, I think we both can't be bearded. One of us has to go, and I think mine's better.
What?
Whoa!
Hey, don't be so sensitive.
It's a good point.
Don't
Good
be so
point.
sensitive about it.
You got to work on that. You're going to have to
This
work on
is-
that if this is going to work.
I just think we should have a beard off, and
You're
I don't know what that looks like.
You're a working actor. Don't you want to be on those fresh CW shows as a 17-year-old? Lose the beard. It's best for you.
a 43-year-old high school.
You have nothing but everything to gain from this.
Oh man,
You could be
amazing.
Archie on the reboot of Riverdale. Look at
All
you.
right.
All right, the moment is
Um,
passing. The signs are misaligning. I'm losing that connection.
I will say
Wow.
this does give a different context for the one of the first time I met your wife, her saying, "Oh, you're Omar."
Interesting. Was there a certain sort of yeah, there was like a side-eyedness to it or something?
Well,
There
it
kinda
was
like
said
a-
with a very different
Huh.
tone. It was
Yeah.
said with a very like apologetic, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was rushing. I didn't properly." But now hearing this, I'm remembering it differently. I am rewriting that memory in my head.
Yeah, she's very jealous
So-
of our time together.
Well, let's take the heat off of us right now, maybe,
Yeah.
and throw the heat on to some folks who aren't here to defend themselves. Let's play
Okay.
a little game.
Let's.
Okay, so well, I'll let you explain this, Sandeep,
Okay,
since we work
the
so well
game
together.
is called Perfect Match or Mortal Enemy, the Astrological Celebrity Edition. I changed the title a little bit just to make it my own. Okay. Kaylin just nodded. It's okay. I think it's better. I'm just gonna say it. Okay. All right. Okay. This is big, you guys. What we're gonna do. We're trying to guess which celebrity is our own astrological perfect match or mortal enemy based on the choices provided by our game master Delvin.
Yes.
And then the co-host
Says
reads the
this
part that
next
has the
part.
co-host section.
Yes, that's right. After each round, I forgot. I was just like, I deserve to be the host this week. After each round, Delvin will issue 1 point to whoever correctly guesses
win,
their own
win.
astrological match or enemy. The winner will be decided by whoever earns the highest number of points.
Okay, I think I get
All right. Is there anything
After
else that you need to
Delvin,
know,
what
or are you satisfied with this basis of whoever
So
has
we're
the
just
most points wins?
guessing like a celebrity, and it's like mortal enemy or.
Okay.
Here's our first round.
I-
Yeah, it
I'm
sounds
trying
like you
to-
have
I'm
no
trying to figure
questions,
it out.
so we're
Yeah, no,
just
no.
gonna get into it.
Let's just try it. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Go.
Great.
So, first round, we've got action stars here, and you are trying to decide who your perfect match is amongst these
Yes.
three. So we have, in not the same order as the image,
Okay.
Keanu Reeves, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Angelina Jolie. So each of you is going to pick for you
Oh, okay.
who is your perfect match. So Sandeep, you're picking Sandeep's perfect match of these three, and
Okay.
Omar, you're picking Omar's perfect match of these three.
And this is astrologically.
Yes.
So we
Right,
gotta
so it's
think
scientific.
beyond.
Yeah, not like what you feel, like
Yeah, 'cause I
scientifically based on the stars.
Have a lot of feel. So
Who is
who
your
are the people
perfect
again?
match?
Sorry, it's very small on my screen. So it's,
Keanu Reeves,
yep.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Angelina Jolie.
Okay, I have my answer written down.
Okay. I wonder if we have the same answer. Here we go.
All right, 3.
Okay, so
2,
no.
Oh,
What?
We're doing because you can have different matches, right?
Yeah.
We'll do this one at a time. So Omar first. Who did you choose?
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Do I have to pick who I think Omar is the best match for Omar?
No, you're picking
Just
who
you.
your best match is, but we're
Okay,
looking at
all
Omar's
right.
first.
All right,
If that's okay with you. Do you want to
All
do you
right.
want to do
we
yours
wrote
first?
it down, but okay, great, go for it.
I wrote down Keanu.
I have good news for you, Omar.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves, a Virgo 1, a pragmatic and deeply imaginative combination in career, love, and marriage.
Yes, I agree.
Although you can
I
both work
agree.
together in exciting and imaginative career endeavors, your love affair would be sensuous with back rubs, warm baths, and cuddling.
I gotta say, it's so nice to be able to work with someone who I can also love and love someone who I can also work with for once.
Yeah, I'm really happy for you. That's
Wow.
going to be great. Okay, so that's going to be a point for you. All right, and now, Sandeep, who did you pick?
Arnold.
We can't read our writing.
You know
the
what?
camera's not picking up either of our
it just
papers.
says- Yeah, it's not really
A
working.
little overexposed
It's
there.
just Arnold.
But as it happens, yes, your
What?
perfect match is indeed Arnold Schwarzenegger, a
I
Leo
just,
1.
He seems like a good outside spoon, and I love being the inside spoon.
Yes, the two of you are electric together. They're going to lead to great success. Getting to the
Yes.
top is important for this pair. You'll use relationship to reach social, political, and financial goals. As spouses, the two of you may be very ambitious for each other. You may even team up in a career activity. Guess what?
we'll team up,
also,
baby.
getting a relationship where you can work together.
Listen, I have a crazy story about how me and Arnold already teamed up. We'll talk about it after the show
Okay.
if you want.
But
But
one,
yeah, let's just say he'll say I will be bottom instead of I will be back, and I think it's
That's
perfect for
really
me.
good. That's the merch.
however, in this matchup, your children shouldn't expect a great deal of attention from either of you. So that's just
What?
fair warning.
He's gonna
to-
cheat on me with the maid,
fair
damn it,
warning there. Yeah.
and then run for governor.
Okay, so you both got a point. You're both neck and neck.
Okay.
Round 2. So which of the following famous babies is your mortal enemy? So again,
What?
you're each picking for you, astrologically, who is your mortal enemy.
Dude, all babies.
Your
Except for
options
mine.
are Riot Rose, who is Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's newborn.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Kai AEAZ, is Grimes and Elon Musk's child. And it's possible I didn't pronounce that correctly because I don't speak.
No, isn't
math.
it like schwa or something? It's like one syllable.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Pronunciation.
I'm reading it as it's written. I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have pronunciation notes here, so it's possible
It's
if we
like
could
Bill.
if we could get them on the show, maybe they could correct us. But that's
Yeah. Grimes will be next week. I don't know. Elon keeps
and then
rescheduling.
And your third option here is Boss Baby, who you may know from Boss Baby as well
Does
as
Boss Baby have a
2.
birth date that you actually did?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very well defined.
Imagine if Boss Baby didn't have a canonical birthday. One of the one things that babies are known for is just being born.
Yeah, seriously.
So this is our enemy.
This is your mortal enemy, astrologically speaking.
Okay.
All right, in this round we're doing
All right.
Sandeep first.
All right, I picked schwa.
We can't see anything.
All right, we'll lose the sheets. You just be honest about
I'm
being
still
locked in.
doing
whenever you're
it, but
locked
we
in on.
have to acknowledge that we
It's not going to work on camera at
see
all.
anything.
What if I darken the lines? Does that help? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I picked schwa.
No, it like maybe I'm colorblind between with white and every other color. That's the only. Now it works. Okay, now.
Next to the face.
Okay.
Got it.
In reality, Sandeep, I'm afraid your mortal enemy is Riot Rose, who is Leo 2.
Wow.
Due to your clashing energies, any relationship is
We're
not
both
sustainable.
Leos.
You're going to need to periodically withdraw yourself, which is going to make Riot feel rejected, and withdraw in turn, show signs of hurt, even paranoia. And you're going to feel misunderstood, where Riot is just going to enter a depression.
Dude, now I know how Voldemort feels.
Yeah, it's not
You
going
know
to
what I
work
mean?
out. Sorry.
Like suddenly, there's a baby that's out to get me already. Like, I have to do something about this,
That's
right?
a pretty good point, actually. I've never thought about it from his perspective.
Right? They were like, "Hey, this baby's gonna kill you." You're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, if you found out about Hitler when Hitler was a baby, that'd be your
That's
mortal
what I'm
enemy,
saying.
right? Like
I was
this
just gonna say,
this is basically the same
Voldemort-
situation, right?
Voldemort, Harry Potter was his own personal Hitler.
I don't think
All right.
that's how. I hate that word.
No, we're gonna. Yeah, no. It's not, we're gonna. There's gonna be a whole wicked type thing on Voldemort. It's called Voldy.
Voldy's
I'm writing
good.
it.
You're gonna be Voldemort. That's very good.
All right, and Omar, who is your immortal?
My Marxist ass is going to war with that boss baby.
Oh wow.
I have good news. You're good at picking
Yes!
out your
Damn
perfect
it!
match, and you're good at picking out your
Correct.
mortal enemy, boss baby, also a Leo too. You would be
Dude, these pictures are
toxic
great.
together. You love gossiping, you love making jokes at the expense of others, but your frank remarks will eventually wound and anger boss baby, who is likely to respond with violent outbursts and then stony silences. While you, Omar, are going to feel misunderstood, boss baby doesn't really care about you. So, not going to
That's
work out.
messed
Not going
up.
to work out well.
Does Boss Baby care about anybody? I mean, these billionaire babies.
They're so detached from us normal
They don't
babies.
even. Yeah.
The day-to-day babies. They don't know what a
All right,
You will
so
never, you will
baby
never
food is.
write on a Boss Baby spinoff. Is basically what that means.
Oh my god, I
Omar
feel
moving
so
up to
good
the
about
lead.
this.
All right. Bring
So
it on.
this is it. Is this tiebreaker? Or not tiebreaker? Is this the end? Is this it? Is this our last round?
we had many prepared, but given how long the episode ran with the news, I think probably we want to wrap it after this one.
Okay. Okay.
Great.
We can
Sandeep,
save the
you're,
others for
you're-
later.
You're the furthest behind. Are you comfortable with that? Because you have the
yeah,
opportunity to make it up here, but that is putting a lot of pressure on you right now, and I want to respect
I
as a
feel
Leo
like-
Cancer cusp.
If I
that
feel
you
like
may
I
be
have to,
conflicted.
yeah. Let's just do it that way. Like I have to win this round. If I don't, then the game's over.
Okay.
It's like
And I'll just be doing a
All right,
victory
and then
lap.
if you catch up, we'll
if I
tie
tie,
break on
if
the
I
next
get
round.
up, maybe we'll do that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so which of the following gamer boys is your perfect match?
Hmm.
Your options are Link,
Shit.
who you may know
Oh,
from the
man.
Zelda games.
Uh-huh.
We have Mario, who you may know from the Mario games.
Hmm.
And we have
Never heard
Clank
of 'em.
from the Ratchet and Clank games.
Wow.
Oh god, this is Sophie's Choice times 3.
This is, yeah, it's very Sophie's choice.
Like this is brutal. Oh man.
This also harkens back to our previous video game episode.
Sure does,
Who's
but now
more
we got the
Desi?
wild card
Yeah,
in,
that's
the,
true.
in the mix.
Link,
We got
Mario,
Clank.
or Clank.
Okay, who goes first? Me?
This
It's
round,
me?
this round's gonna be Omar first.
That's right. Okay.
Omar, who did you pick?
I love Link with everything, which is why I put down Mario, because sometimes you like people too much.
Okay, before you give an answer, because I think this is more dramatic, I also put down Mario.
Oh,
So, is it a me or is it a he? I don't
All right.
know.
So to
Who's
start
got the
with,
pasta sauce? Here we go.
Omar, your perfect match is
I knew it.
Come on,
Clank
baby,
is
come
Scorpio
on.
too.
I knew it. That's why I didn't say
I'm
Clank.
telling you, Mario is
'Cause
such
I
an
knew it.
outside spoon. This has got it. This is
Oh,
gonna
no,
work.
no.
Yeah, in some ways, Clank is actually you, Omar, turned inside out, and vice versa.
Wow.
What?
You tend to
What?
mirror
I-
each
The-
other's
Isn't
hidden
the vice versa
tendencies.
that being turned
The
back
things
inside?
that are hidden for you are external for Clank. The things that are hidden for Clank are external for you. That makes sense.
Metal?
The things that you hide, the things
Wait,
that you share,
no,
refers
that's
to
a
the perfect
robot.
match. A lover of between would likely lead to marriage. In fact, for the most part,
Oh.
shared activities, strong sympathy, understanding, emotional support, and powerful physical attraction. I don't know how accurate this is. Would make up
Wait,
the
what-
energetic
what
and
is this
easygoing
commentary?
relationship. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking back to Omar facts, but yeah. So
Listen, there's always an exception to the rule, and Clank happens to be that exception.
all
I
right,
just
okay.
want to see the movie where Omar and Clank have to fall in love, and the person that's trying to tear them apart is Boss Baby.
All right, and
All right.
so Omar did not pull ahead, so Sandeep, this is your opportunity to catch up
Let's
if you
see.
got this right.
Come on.
This is
Come
yours
on,
to stay
baby.
behind,
Your
Sandeep.
perfect match is
If you get Mario,
Link.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've never been so sad to find out that my perfect match is my favorite video game of all time.
So Link, an Aquarius Pisces cusp, be your perfect match.
Yeah. No, it
I'm
makes
afraid.
sense. I
Yep.
like the strong silent type.
Yep, you
And,
both have a great deal to teach to each other.
oh my god.
Link is going to help you find out more about yourself.
Yeah.
You can help Link realize some of it.
Yeah. I've
Oh
got
yeah,
a whole
what does he want?
I got a whole heart container for him. You know? Yeah.
Should we
Yeah.
make it spicy? Should we do one last round takes it?
Well, why don't we just do 2 points for this next round?
2 points for this next
2
round.
points for the next round. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So just as a review, though, Sandeep, you're still losing. Just to make
Cool,
sure we're all on
thank
the
you.
same page.
I was aware, but yeah, didn't need the review. And
Just making sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so this is it. This is
it.
final
This
match.
is final match.
2
just
points.
like last time was it. This
Just
is
like last
definitely
one
it.
was with yeah, but nobody got it right, so you both, it's fine. Okay, so this
Okay,
is the
all right.
final round. It's worth 2 points.
Mortal
So-
enemy, right? Okay.
Which of the
This makes
following?
sense. We got to do 2 mortal
hots.
enemies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So which of
Yeah,
the following
okay.
hots is your mortal enemy? Your options are Idris Elba, Kylie Jenner,
Hot.
or Timothy Chalamet. Is it Chalamet or Chalamet?
It's Chalamet, the accent.
It
What
does,
is
I mean,
the
it
accent?
seems like
Which is the accent
French,
mark?
but then also sometimes people don't use the origin pronunciations. So.
That's an inside joke for anybody who watched the Guild does D&D.
That's very good.
All right. So Idris, Jenner, or Chalamet. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Mortal enemy, right? Yeah.
Mortal
Yeah, okay.
enemy. According to the stars. And this is 2 points.
2 points.
So I go first, so we find out. If I lose, Sandeep,
What?
then you have the chance to take it.
I hold host again. All right, here we go.
All right, hang on. We'll do Omar first. Get
Okay.
Omar's ready.
Or should we do, or for Jeopardy's sake, do we want to do Sandeep first?
No, we're doing Omar first. It's been announced. It's been adjusted live.
You're right. Okay,
Do
we're
it
doing
live.
live. Here we go.
Who did
Are
you
you ready
choose,
for
Omar?
my
Yep.
answer?
Yep.
Mortal enemy according to the stars? Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, once again, I think I can do the same thing. Oh, no.
Doesn't look good for you, Sandeep, because indeed, Omar, your mortal
Here
enemy.
we go!
Timothy Chalamet, a Capricorn 1.
Ooh, ew.
Okay.
Your relationship would be skin deep. Both of you only interested in one another's physical beauty. Omar, you and Timothy, your biggest challenge would be communication. You may feel that Timothy only pretends to understand what he says, and Timothy may grow exasperated and even write off the relationship if, Omar, you continue to miss appointments.
I feel you, Timmy. I feel you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You're on
totally-
You're on this Willy Wonka bastard side. I don't think so. I don't need this.
All right, so it does settle it for Omar, but shall we see if you're at least going to finish, with a close match, Sandeep? Who did you choose?
Yeah, let's see. We will not.
Who knows? We don't know.
I
we don't know.
chose Chalamet.
I'm sorry, Kylie Jenner, Leo 2 was your mortal
Damn it.
enemy here.
I didn't want to be sexist, so I didn't choose Jenner.
Yep, sorry. Well, it's not about your sex; it's about your energies. They're gonna clash when you're forced to interact on a daily
I know. It's
basis.
just- she was the only female representation on that board, and so I didn't want her to be my mortal enemy. Okay, but it turns out she is, so I'm gonna have to murder her.
It's
and
a
a
Highlander
baby.
situation.
Great.
There can only be one Kylie Jenner.
All right,
and it's
Omar
gonna be
runs away with
Sandeep.
it. Omar, you are the host next week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, you're not the host of this week's show. Okay. So
Okay.
let's move on to our final segment of
Yes.
the podcast, Desi of the Week. All right, this week our Desi of the Week, we are throwing back to Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana became the first Indian-born woman to go into space in 1997. Tragically, 6 years later, on February 1st, 2003, she died when the space shuttle Columbia broke up on re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. So we wanted to shout her out because for any, for my nieces out there, you can be an astronaut, you can do it. Chawla, a little bit more about her. She was born in Karnal, India in 1962. Until she started school, she hadn't been formally named. Her parents called her Mantu. She hadn't been named until she started
Yes.
school. Like that's how hardcore. It's like you don't get a name until we figure out what track you're on. Okay, they probably were following astrology. I bet you. The name Kalpana means idea or imagination. Chawla's interest in flying first developed as a child, often visiting her local flying club with her father.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to take this
At
next?
university, despite professors trying to dissuade her from her desired career path due to the limited opportunities for girls in India, Chawla earned her degree in aerospace engineering. So they told her no, and she said, I'm going for
I'm
this.
doing it anyway.
Get out of my way. Chawla immigrated to the United States in the 1980s and became a naturalized citizen to continue her studies, ultimately earning her doctorate in aerospace engineering. She began working at NASA the same year. Her work focused on understanding how air flows around an aircraft during flight and incorporating computers into the work.
She felt passionately about providing science education opportunities for young girls in India. And during her time as an astronaut, NASA invited her Chawla's secondary school to take part in their summer space program. Each year, the school sent 2 girls to the Foundation for the International Space Education's United Space School in Houston. You know, the one that they used to give away on Double Dare?
Yep.
Which I was desperate to win. And Chawla would then invite them into her home for an Indian dinner. Between her 2 missions, Chawla logged 30 days, 14 hours, and 54 minutes in space. She lived to be 40 years old.
Incredible. Such an incredible Desi of the week.
Yeah. And that is our show, my friends. As always, if you want to see our lovely faces and you want to watch the VOD and all the other ways that you can hang out with us, they're all in the show notes. Please, 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 before you do any of that, rate and comment on our show. It really helps the show. So if you're listening now, if you're on the live stream, if you really enjoyed what you're doing, please jump onto your favorite podcasting service and just go ahead and drop us a little comment and a rating. It really helps us out. Any other comments or suggestions or feedback can be sent to abcdpodcastshow@gmail.com or our Discord.
That's right.
Discord.
I also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, DesiQuest, the TTRPG that stars us and like other people. And it's going to be awesome. It's really good. We have our premiere date.
Oh, I'll just say, if you enjoyed Omar's and Clank's burgeoning relationship, let me just say that there are some parallels that kind of play out pretty well there.
Has that been revealed? Have you revealed that character detail yet?
Apparently.
I don't know we have, so I'm not
Okay.
gonna say more than that.
Okay, because I have a thing right here that I got in Australia in honor of that, but I'll wait.
Let's wait.
I'll wait for the reveal.
Yeah.
So if you want to get more information about that, like for example, what Sandeep is referring to, head to DesiQuest.com, DesiQuest.com to sign up for that mailing list. You'll get up-to-the-minute news about the show, and you might even learn about some stuff before I do.
Oh yeah, and speaking of DesiQuest, Omar, ABCD is coming to a close this season.
What?
Yes. I'm sorry you're finding out right now. This is very awkward for me to tell you. But this is our penultimate episode. Next episode will be our last of the season.
Oh my god.
Okay, in 2 weeks that'll be our
Well, I'm
next
gonna
and
miss you,
last
man.
episode. No, you're not.
I'm not.
No, you're
Oh,
not.
I guess
because
I'm not.
you're not going to miss me at all, because DesiQuest is coming out, obviously, but also
Right.
we are the host of the DesiQuest After Show. So the very thing that I was talking about, you can join the Patreon and get exclusive access to the After Show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's basically me and Omar interviewing different cast and crew from DesiQuest
Yes.
and like doing a deep dive on that episode. It's going to be awesome. So you can get more of us. And then once that's all done, and that show's rolled out, we are going to come back with ABCD Season 3 stronger than ever. Yeah?
Join us
Sound like a plan?
to celebrate in the next episode, and then join us to kick off the show, which is so exciting.
Yeah, we also got to shout out our Patreons, and we've got to do it in...
Yes.
How are we shouting them out today, Delvin?
We had so many great suggestions that we're actually taking 2 suggestions at once.
What?
Okay.
What you are going
What?
to be doing is announcing the Patreons in the style of a Shakespearean vampire.
Okay.
All right?
Iambic pentameter.
I want to sucketh the blood of Joshua Ryan, Tolbiam Carlo, Benjamin Rowe.
I forgot we do 3 in a row.
Yes.
It is better to be Hunter P. Brown, Miranda Hollinger, and Michael Long than not.
I wish to drain the life force of Raylin Fox, Selena B., and Adam Nickerson.
I heard by the moonlight, Nervous Rex, Sarah H. and Odeka Couplet speaking.
Thou art a villain, Varun. Am I in the right spot?
Yep.
The Room, Moldivort, and Philip Dizon.
Doth thou bite your thumb, Kathleen Schlegel, Ducati, and Reverend Catino? Because if you do, I wouldn't mind sucking on the blood.
Yes, I will suck the blood. Bradley Pace. I'll suck your blood so hard, Monroe Maxwell. Jeremy
Shakespeare's
Schwartz.
really coming out in this one. In this
Sorry.
little...
I'll do it at midnight with midnight summer night stream.
Sit, if you dare, and enjoy this 2-hour traffic of Han Solo, 8-Bit D, and Andrew F.L. telling you the story of woe.
Othello quote. Chris Sims, Dan Wally, Nebbish Heretic.
Christina Romero, where art thou, Christina Romero? Perhaps
nice.
Zach by any other name would.
Oh wow, you're gonna lay it on now.
Were I to be any fish, I would be Danny's corner fish, or should I say, fish?
I've completely run out of quotes. What's the thing about the fat and the blood? A pound of flesh. I'll take a pound of flesh from fish. There we go. Legion 247, and then our gods: Laura Clark, Scribbles Flapjacks, Vaden, and Death Queen Vex. And of course, I'll leave the last one for you to feast upon, Omar.
That's going to be as the sun strikes now here in hot Verona, but not during the day because I'm a vampire. It's Delvin Neville.
You're not a daywalker? Amazing, we did it.
We did it, folks. This show's produced by Caleb Mahoney. The show's technical director and sound designer is Devin Neville. The show's executive producers are Sandeep Parikh and Anand Shah. This is edited by Sean Mayer. Music by Harshal Sisodia, Jasper Singh, and Malik Saveri. This has been an EffinFunny production.
On behalf of our co-host Omar Najam,
Oh,
I've been
God.
your host Sandeep Parikh. May your chakras be aligned and smothered in chutney.